Hi, good evening all. Welcome to Blue and Gold Talk, the video on the channel. If you're new, it's usually random Sabres talk. I have a topic though tonight. Well, not so much a topic, but something I want to go over. I guess you could call it a topic, but it's more like a question out to you guys about something here regarding all the salaries that we can extend. Because I was taking a close look at it, and it's time to get in some Sabres content here and start talking about the boys and what they can do and what they can't do. And look, I want to start with something here, guys. I've heard some people talking about buying out Skinner. They're not going to buy out Skinner. I'll tell you right now, they're not going to buy out Skinner. If they're going to, it'll be next year. It's not going to be this year because we'd have to suffer too much of a big cap hit, I believe, in 2026 if we did that. It's just not worth it. Not yet. We got to wait till there's less salary left and there's this much of a contract left. Then we can look at it. I think Skinner can bounce back, guys, with the 28, 35 goal season in that ballpark. Maybe a few more assists this time around. He didn't do too well in that department this year, but he's not been an assist guy all his career. I think it was a career year really for him in assists last year, wasn't it? So, okay, let's look at the first clip, guys. We're going to talk about the salaries that we can, who can we extend, who do we keep? Let's take a look at it. Okay, there's the forwards. We'll talk about that first. Ignore 23-24. Look at 24-25, guys, and look at the year after also. Okay, so we're looking at 24-25 and 25-26. We'll start right away with the UFAs. Victor Olofsson, I think we have to move on from. I don't see any point in signing this guy whatsoever. Really, guys, there's nothing left there. It was just a bad signing to start with, that 4.75. He's always been one-dimensional. So we'll move on. I figure the majority of you are going to agree with that. We move on from Olofsson. Girgensons is going to be UFA also. I think we got to move on from Girgensons also. And it's not like he's washed up or anything, 30, but the truth is, guys, we just don't need him. And eating up that roster spot when we could put a youngster there or a trade with somebody, not for Girgensons. I'm just talking a trade where we can open up a forward spot. You get what I'm saying. I just think we have to move on from him. There's no offensive flair with this guy. He's quick. He can't close for his life. He's got heart and soul, but he's just not good enough, I believe, to help us going forward. It's just how I feel. So Girgensons, I say we walk away from also. Tyson Jost, my guess is we're going to walk away from Tyson Jost. It wasn't a very good year for him whatsoever. I think Jost is going to be history. That's just my feel there too. Eric Robinson, guys, I'd like to have one more year with him. This time with Lindy Ruff as coach, and see what he unleashes this guy. If he unleashes him. I mean, he's not as a high quality a player as like a Sam Bennett, let's say, but he has that nasty side to him. We got to keep this guy. I think we have to keep this guy another year, even for Fort Line minutes, of course, but I would like to see this guy be one of our bangers on the team and, give him another shot next year, a fair shot, because with Granato, it wasn't a fair shot as far as I'm concerned. A little further down, Peyton Krebs, guys. Then we'll close up in a second here, guys. Let's come back to Peyton Krebs in a second, okay? He's restricted. He's not unrestricted. Now, let's look over at 25-26. And who can we extend? Who do we extend? Sorry, in 24-25. Now, 25-26, all you have to look is who's going to be unrestricted. Greenway will be. So we can extend Greenway this summer. Do we extend Greenway? I don't think they will yet. I just don't think they will just yet. No. Greenway, I think, will wait. A little further down the list. All right, here's the important one, guys, at the bottom. Jack Quinn and J.J. Peterka. Now, Jack Quinn, my idea is we give Jack Quinn a bridge deal. Do we make sure he's not an injury-prone player? I don't think he is. I just don't think he's done enough in the NHL where we can extend him like we can after what we've seen of Peterka this year. Peterka, I think Peterka should get priority of all these players to be extended. Now, I'll talk about Peyton Krebs right now, and then we're going to go into the blue liners, guys. Peyton Krebs, look, what do you have this year? 4 goals? Like, did Granato misuse him? Did we not give this guy a fair enough shot? I don't know. We can argue that we did, but the thing is, guys, we gave him a shot when the whole team was having an off year, except JJ Peterka. It felt like the whole team was bad this year. The whole team. And we still had a winning record. Go figure that one. But it felt like everything that could go wrong this year did. And we had 2 guys that really showed up this year were UPL and Peterka. Really, you can make arguments for some other guys, I guess. But I think we've got to, I think we can't just write off Krebs. I just don't think it's a smart idea. I want to see what Lindy can do with him. As we know, Lindy can get the most out of players. So I want to see what Krebs is made of under Lindy. So my 2... My guys, I would move on from, and over again, guys, I would get rid of Olofsson. I would move on from Gergensons. I would move on from Jost. And I liked him. I didn't dislike Jost, but he's just not good enough for this team, really. Maybe he needs a fair shot somewhere else. I don't know. Eric Robinson, I want to see more of. Peyton Krebs, I still want to see more of. Absolutely. He was a centerpiece, one of the centerpieces in that deal. That was what was holding on that Eichel deal. They did not want to let go of Krebs in Vegas, remember? So I want to see more of Krebs. I want to see what Krebs does under under Lindy and also Eric Robinson. That's where I stand with this, guys. And am I missing out anybody? 25-26? No, Greenway, Krebs, Quinn. That's it. Okay, right? Krebs, no, sorry, not Krebs. Quinn Peterka. Yeah. Okay, so I mentioned him. Let's move on to the blue liners and the goalies. Okay, no unrestricteds, but we have 3 restricted free agents. First one, Yoki Haru is playing. He's eligible for an extension. I mean, don't forget these guys next year. Well, not eligible. He's due for an extension. Sorry, guys. I was looking at Bo and Byram, thinking that. We'll get back to Byram in a sec. So the guys due for contracts will go over first, and the guys that we can extend will go second, okay? So Yoki Haru, I say we extend him. I think we have to extend him because if we make a mistake or trade him, we own his rights, but I think we have to extend him, then trade him maybe. Just my thinking. We might have to extend him at a decent price, and then we might be able to move on from him. But I think he played good enough this year. He's earned an extension. I'll just say it. I think he played good enough this year. He deserves an extension. Doesn't have to be a ton of money, but an extension. Moving on. Jacob Bryson. I think we have to move on from Bryson, guys. And I know he had a positive impact on the team when he started playing again, but he's just not cut out for this team, I think. Really, it's I don't think there's room, especially now that we got Byram and we got Johnson up and coming, and I think we have to move on from Bryson. And Cale Clegg, well, he'll get league minimum and wind up most likely in the AHL, so no point in talking about that one. Now, going up, Bowen Byram. Bowen Byram's a big one, guys. I would like to see them extend Byram this offseason. I don't want to wait for Byram. I don't want to wait till he gets to restricted free agency and then it gets messy with, I would rather, if we can, these are just guys I'm saying I would like to extend, so we have to extend Yoki Haru. The other 2 we don't really have to extend, and we could wait on Byram, but I'd rather extend him come July. I'd rather just get it done, get him at a good price, but he might want to play out the year and see how it goes also. So let's go back to the clip. Okay, and the goalies, Comrie we know is gone. If we bring him back, I'll be stunned. And UPL, yes, that's a huge extension as we know. What's the number, guys? What's the number? Now, if you look below, Samuelsson, I clipped in there just for the sake of not forgetting about Samuelsson. He's still on the injured reserve, as you see. That'll all change come October, the way it looks. And, okay, guys, I didn't show this, but I'll just read it out to you. We got to extend, we can extend Kisakov, Tyson Kozak, Rusick. I'm sure they'll extend all these guys, of course, but I'm thinking like Kisakov might get huge priority there. And who else am I looking at down here? Ryan Johnson, of course. Yeah, of course, Ryan Johnson and Devin Levi. So Devin Levi, we can extend starting July 1st. We can extend Devin Levi. Will he wait it? Will he play out the year? Will he bet on himself? Most likely, he's a confident kid. I'd like to get him signed ahead of time if possible at a decent price. Even if it's a 3-year deal or something, I'd be happy with that for now. But we have to extend UPL. We have to extend Levi. UPL, though, is due for a contract. Levi, not for another year. So we can wait till next summer to try and extend Levi then, but I don't want it to get messy is what I'm saying with some of these guys. Devin Levi has 1 more year of entry level. And if we take a chance and we extend him next year, it might cost a lot more. It might cost a lot more. Might not. But do we want to take that chance? How many times do we see teams get burned by doing that? Where we've bet many times, guys, on potential, like a lot of teams are doing now, not just us, but a lot of teams are betting on potential now, and it's a lot cheaper in the long run. If you bet on your potential right, if you believe you know what you're doing as an organization, then you can bet on your potential because you believe what you're doing is right. And you believe you can foresee a glimpse of the future of some of these players. So, well, we'll have to see, guys, but I'm hoping that this summer Levi gets extended also. So, to close up, all right, let's come up with some numbers here. All right, I'll give you I'll throw a few numbers at you. Tell me what you guys think. Olofsson, 0. Gergensons, 0. Get these guys off the cap, please. Tyson Jones, thanks. Just kind of didn't work out, I think. Eric Robinson, he's unrestricted. He might not want to stick around maybe after his experience under Granato, not letting him play his game. But if Lindy's there now, so maybe he'll stick around. Maybe they'll talk to him. I don't know. I mean, if we lose him, we lose him. I'm not going to panic about it, but I'd like to extend him at a cheap price for 2 years or something. And Peyton Krebs, all right, there's one. We're not going to have to pay Peyton Krebs too much money to keep him. So I think it's even a bridge deal, 2 years, like 2.5 a year or something. I don't know, 2. He's kind of he kind of took on the role that he was asked to take on. He's a pretty good teammate that way. I know he doesn't have any offensive flair whatsoever last year at all. But maybe under Lindy, things can change. I would like to see what Lindy can do with this guy. Again, I'll say it. Jokiharju, 2.5, maybe bump him up to 3.5, guys. What do you think? 3.5, 3 years? Is it too much? I mean, you got to bump him up a bit. He's coming into his prime years now. Bryson, 0. Clay will get minimum. We'll keep him in the organization. Comrie, 0. Luukkonen. Let's talk about Luukkonen and Levi, and I'll close it up. Luukkonen, I don't know. This is a tough one. Devin Levi, 2 years times $3 million a year. Or 2.5. I think he'll sign for that right now because he's developing still, right? He's not there yet, Levi, but he could be next year. So I think Levi will take a short bridge deal. So I would say, let's say Levi 2 times 2.5. What do you think? Is that fair? Or is it too much? I don't think it's too much. We know that this kid is pretty damn good. He knows it too. But the tricky one's UPL. If we're going to lock in UPL, we've got to give him, I would say, 5 years. When it comes to a goalie, I don't think going 7 years is a smart idea whatsoever. Any goalie, 5 years, 5 times 4. Do you think we can get him 5 times 4 a year? I think we could. And guys, I'm convinced Levi's our #1 goalie. But if we are going to be smart in the future, wouldn't it be smart to have 2 young, good goalies? Boston's proved that that is a recipe for success over there with their goaltending tandem, right? I think that it wouldn't hurt to have 2 guys that are capable night in, night out, and not just one guy with a real 1B goalie, not a 1B, a real B goalie behind the A goalie. No, I'd like to have 2 good goalies. So I don't think, guys, we're going to do anything whatsoever to get another goalie right now. I think we're sticking with our young studs. We're going to leave it at that. So you tell me what you think. So I got Levi, a bridge deal, 2 years, 2.5 a year to 3, 2.5 probably. And then I think 4 maybe is fair for Luukkonen. I think it's more than fair. I know he had a really good year, but it's 1 year. 1 year doesn't convince me that much. That's a lot of money we're taking a chance on. We're committing, but if we lock him in and he becomes better and better, then the deal will look great at $4 million a year. It will look amazing. So, all right, guys, that's my thoughts there. You guys throw some numbers at me. Tell me what you think. I'm going to check it out after. I want to get back to the game. Sorry, I was going to do 2 or 3 videos. I've dragged this one out, I'm sure, like well over 12, 13, 14 minutes at this point. So I'm going to just stop there. And I wanted to go over this because it is important. We got to get our goalies locked in to a degree. And if we don't lock in Levi, I got to just relax about it and believe that they're going to do it, because that will kind of upset me this summer. I want to see them lock both the goalies in, not just one of them. And, there's a few names like I mentioned there, guys. Am I being too harsh on Girgensons? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's time to move on from him, guys. I know he's 30. He can go somewhere else, and we can wish him luck, And I think Olofsson is just honestly not cut out for the NHL, if I could say that. He's just not. He's not strong. He's not tough enough. He's just not. He's not cut out for it. So done for this one, guys. That's it for tonight. I'll let somebody say hi to you because she's sitting right here. And yes, it has been a while. And there she is, guys. The one and only. Rosie has entered the building. And there's her little new tag, her little Ty Beanie Baby tag that I got for her. If you can see that. And Rosie's saying, I've had a long day, and you guys have had a long day. So guys, get back to the game. The Bruins lost, so I'm sure many of you are into hockey right now. Toronto's out. Now Boston's about to bow out, so many of you are pretty happy at this point, eh? And I'll see you guys at some point tomorrow. Have a good one.